Thank you so much for tuning in. In this week's video, we're making this beautiful, amazing sofa side table. You can even call it a sofa stand. This is very convenient. It's easy to make, and you can put in your different accessories. You can put in your remote as well. Perfect for everyday use, and please enjoy it. So with this DIY project, you can make it, you can keep it, you can sell it, or even gift it as well. So with every DIY project, before I even do anything, I always have to make my stop at my home improvement store or my hardware store to pick up a couple of supplies. So I always handpick my wood myself so that I'm able to compare the prices with the different hardware stores. Wood can sometimes be pricey, so you need to be physically present and then see the different prices as well. So by far, this is one of my most therapeutic moments. I love this phase. It's very important to me that I actually feel the wood itself. Here's a list of the tools and the materials that I use for this project. It's all easy, simple tools that you've probably have seen before. So please get ready to build and enjoy this build. So the first thing that I do is just to arrange my wood cuts and make sure that the markings and everything is properly done. The main reason I do this is because I don't physically cut the wood cut for me. I always request my home improvement store or my hardware store to do the cuttings for me because I don't have the equipment to cut the wood. So make use of this service in the different hardware stores as well. So the next phase was for me to just remove the factory marking stickers that is found on the wood cuts. Oh, I do not like these stickers because they're very hard to remove. So there's nothing we can do about it because the manufacturers need to indicate which wood we're working with. Just take time and remove them and be patient with them. So up next, the next thing was just to put markings onto where I was going to put my screws on. So this phase is very important because if you want everything straight and aligned, so I just put markings on where I was going to pre-drill and put my screws. So you can put, I was put the 4 screws on each side of the lumber. So the wood that I'm working with is pine. So I always make sure that I pre-drill my wood cuts prior to putting screws on because pine is very delicate and it has a tendency of splitting very quickly. So always make sure that you pre-drill your wood cuts as well. Trust me, you have to just pre-drill the wood cut to just make life easier for you when you're doing any DIY project. So I've put the different woodcut measurements on the description box so that you can try this project on your own. So the 2 smaller cuts that I'm using is your 75mm, and then I'm just joining them together with your 185mm using wood glue and screws for a stronger joint. So I use 5 different screws to put the 2 pieces together. Just make sure that you work on a flat surface because mine was just falling apart, and also hold it down and make sure that the 2 pieces are in a straight line position while you're working. So please take note of that as well. Please comment down below on the comment section and let me know if this project is of interest for you, and let me know if you're a coffee drinker or you're always on your couch. So this will come very handy for you and your family members as well. So in terms of the screw size that you're going to use, I'm using a 50mm screw, so you can get away with anything which is above 30mm, and you'll be able to have a perfect joint which is strong and tight. So always remember, when you're doing a DIY project, please have fun while you do it. Don't be too serious about it. Just have fun. It's a learning experience. You get better over time, and don't be afraid, don't be intimidated. Anyone can do this, and I'm serious when I say anyone can do it. So take this an opportunity as a learning experience as well. So the next phase was just to put the other 75mm cut onto the base of it. So in this phase, I needed to put on wood glue first and also make sure that everything was in a straight line position until I tightened everything. So here I used a cloth just to wipe off any excess glue. It doesn't turn out very well. So in this case, clamps were needed to assist me when I was putting everything together. So if you don't have clamps, you can also get away with it, but you might even struggle a bit. But don't worry about it. So when I used the clamps, I was clamping down the 75mm and then just to put on my screws so that everything must be tight and secure. So the trick here is just to put the screws right at the bottom so that the screws don't show. If you're loving this, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps a lot. And also comment down below and let me know what project you want to see next. So now you're done with the first phase of this project. So this is like the accessory holder. So you can even use it as it is. It looks very decent. So now we move on into putting on the bigger cut, which is the 180mm cut. So the two cuts are mostly similar in size. So you just put everything together and just repeat the same process. So the trick here, when you're doing this project, I just want to give you a heads up. So I measured this size of this project on a thicker couch. So always take dimensions of how big and how wide your couch is so that you're able to make amendments. So the middle part, the one that I'm screwing down, is the one which is crucial when it comes to the depth of or the width of your couch. So measure your couch before you do any cuts, and always that top part must be the size of your couch. So the last and final stage of your armrest is just to put on the 203mm woodcut. So just repeat the same process, put on wood glue, and also join it together using wood screws as well. So we're just basically repeating the first phase of the process. So while you're doing this, along the way you'll notice that I'm using my elbow just to put pressure down while I'm putting the screws together. So this is very helpful, that my structure must not move around as well. So once you're done with the full structure, it looks so amazing. It's so nice, so innovative. The neutral color also looks amazing as well. So the next phase is for us to just apply wood filler. The reason for I'm using wood filler is that I just used to cover the holes that I created while I was working. So what you need to do, the trick with wood filler, is that you must take in mind that you need to match the color of the wood filler according to the color of the stain or the paint that you're going to use, because if you don't do that, they are going to be opposite direction and they're going to look very funny and they will not look nice. So please take note of that while you're working with wood filler, and also allow it to dry as well before you sand it down. So up next is just doing the cosmetic side of things, and just to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. So what I did was just to sand down everything. So I used the wood filler, so I just needed to sand it down as well. Just make sure that the edges were nice and smooth. So I used 120 grit sanding paper. So this is very nice and handy. It was perfect. And then, so this is how you change your sanding paper if you're using an electric sander. So you can also use a block of sander as well. It also works perfectly. So the next phase here is just to stain or paint the final product. So what I did was just to use a white linen spray paint. It's easier to apply and it's also quick to dry as well. So I love how the color was popping and it's nice. So at least I did a white color. I'm always using dark colors as always. So I love how this color popped up. I know I always say that this is my favorite project. Yes, allow me to say this is my favorite project as well. So I'm always on the couch working as well. So this is very handy. I'm always using it. It's convenient. And I advise you, please do try this. Share this with your friends and your family. I'll make it, or you can sell it, or you can gift it as well. So the possibilities are endless. So if you're enjoying my content, please do tell me. And also leave in the comment section and let me know what project you want to see next. So enjoy this build, and until next time, see you on the next side. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye.